Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. The Canadians can't get it done again. The second time in overtime that the Canadians lose here, and this one is a 3-2 game as well in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. And a lot of the same stuff going on. It's definitely frustrating to watch this one, considering the fact that we needed to have learned from game 2. On what the Canadians were going to have to do better, what the Canes were bringing, and how they won that game. And it felt like we just did a lot of the same stuff, made a lot of the same mistakes. It's a blatant turnover that ends this game in favor of Carolina in this one. It's just a lot of just beating ourselves in this one. I think the Canadians, from what I can see, have the ability to win this series. They just keep beating themselves over and over again in this one, and it ends up being we're down 2-1. This is the first time the Canadians have found themselves down in a series this playoff run. So obviously, the Canadians are not necessarily new to the comeback scene. We're very aware of what it takes to come back in individual games, and I would imagine that would carry over into playoff series as well. But it's definitely frustrating to be in a situation like this, especially in a game where we had a great start in overtime too. We definitely could have ended this one really quick in overtime. Some great chances early on, hit posts twice in a row there, but I think it all comes down to the fact that at the end of the day, the Canadians only had 12, 13 shots on net the entire game. You can't win with shot totals like that every time. You can't expect to go out there. We had 12 shots on net in game 2. We lost. We had 12 shots or 13 shots on net in game 3 tonight. We lost that one as well. It's just like Martin St. Louis said it in his game 7 post game against Tampa Bay in game 7 there. Like, we're not going to win a ton of games with only 9 shots on goal. 12 shots isn't that much different. We have that exact outcome twice in a row here, and we lose both of those games. Again, I think we could have won this game. I think there's obviously we had a goal disallowed for offsides that would have been the game winner. But unfortunately, that one, just a millimeter offsides there, and we end up going into game 4 down 2-1, trying to claw back into this series a little bit, and it's frustrating. I just the biggest thing that's frustrating to me is that the Canadians just don't seem to have really learned from anything that the Canes have thrown at them so far. It just seems like we just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And obviously there's credit to be given to the Carolina Hurricanes and the way that they play, because they very much make it hard on us to win at both ends of the ice. But it just seems like it's the same playbook every single time, and the Canadians just can't seem to find a way to get it to work. Just every time we're in our own zone, it just seems like we're just a little bit slower to the pucks. We're not winning any puck battles in our own zone. We're getting hemmed in our own zone a little bit longer than we need to, and then every time we get out of our zone, it's just it's time to dump and change and hope for the best on the next shift. And it's over and over again that we find ourselves in that position, and it's just frustrating. So, into this one, we start the game exactly the same way that we started, game 2. It just wasn't great. There's nothing really going for us. Shane Gostisbehere scores 8 minutes, 24 seconds in. We get all 5 Canadian players, just kind of squished down into the corner with the puck battle. Nobody finds the D-man creeping down into the backdoor area. He eventually gets the puck his way, times that one into the back of the net. Tough, obviously, again, but it's just puck battles, right? Like, we lose a puck battle and we had 4 guys going in to try to win that puck, and we didn't win it. It's a constant thing that the Canadians just can't seem to find a way to win any puck battles on the boards against the Canes, and that one beats us there. Mike Matheson responds back, a little bit later into the first period. A really nice play. We actually do win a puck battle this time. Jake Evans gets the puck in deep. We win the puck battle. Demidov gets the puck, gets it out to Matheson, who just snipes this one home for his 2nd goal of the postseason. Ivan Demidov gets his 6th assist and Jake Evans his 8th assist. So it's we win a puck battle and we end up scoring a goal. But we just that's the one of a few times in this game overall that I feel like the Canadians have actually won a puck battle at all. And if we can do more of that, we'll be in a good spot going forward. But and then so Taylor Hall ends up getting the goal right back almost a minute later. He just they get the puck to the net. There's a bunch of jam play at it, and he ends up finding the rebound and puts that one home. Gives Carolina the 2-1 lead. Tough, again, like it's just like they should have more than 2 goals given what we were seeing in that one. It's just like they just kept hemming us in over and over and over again, and it's just like the fact that we weren't down by more is crazy. We had some chances as well. I think generally speaking, we played a better game today than we did in game 2. I felt like we had some more pressure, some more offensive opportunities, definitely some chances that could have won us this game, but unfortunately, like the bounces just don't go our way. But at the same time, it's just like even if we played better, we still have a long way to go to get to what our actual best is, and the way that we actually have to play to beat the Canes, which is to just use their pressure against them, right? Like win some puck battles, could take a page out of their playbook a little bit, and like with all the pressure that they're giving us, in our own zone, if we're able to make a breakout and get the puck up the ice or whatever, all of a sudden the Canes have got guys back behind the play. We can get some odd man rushes going the other way. We can start putting pucks on net, getting some good passing plays going, but it just seems like we're taking a little bit too long to make our decisions in the defensive zone, and that's what's really burning us there. And so anyway, going into the second period, we get a power play opportunity. Cole Caulfield and Lane Hudson make quick work of that. Dobesh gets an assist as well, which is great to see. It's his first of the postseason, obviously. But Cole Caulfield and Lane Hudson just kind of take the puck down and give and go. They can give about like 5 passes back and forth between each other. It's a great play that Hudson bangs home for his 3rd goal of the postseason. Cole Caulfield gets his 7th assist on that one as well. It's a great play on the power play that didn't really look great in this game otherwise, but I like the idea to just kind of go skate north-south with the puck, just kind of make some passes. It works out really well. They're able to spread the D out with it, get a pass across crease, and then Lane Hudson bangs that one home. It's a tie game. So great play there. And then in the third period there, we had a great goal. It was a great work from Cole Caulfield, and Noah Dobson throws this one towards the net. Looked like Slavkovsky got it, but actually went off Ehlers and into the back of the net. But, of course, almost like 40 seconds previous to the goal being scored, Cole Caulfield was offsides by like a millimeter when bringing the puck into the zone. So that one gets taken off the board, which would have ended up being the game-winning goal there for the Canadians, but does not go. And it's just like, I get it. Like, it's offside. You can't really complain about it. It's just kind of really unfortunate, especially in a playoff game when, a game gets decided by, a millimeter like that. But it's the way it goes. Those are the rules, and we have to kind of be okay with that. And then in overtime, we started overtime really, really hot. I really liked our start. It was much better than what we saw in overtime in game 2, because Nick Suzuki had a breakaway opportunity really early in that he just kind of missed the net, kind of went off the post a little bit. Not too long after, Mike Matheson had a chance to kind of come in on net and rips one off the crossbar. And that was about the best chances that we would get in the overtime total. Just kind of went back and forth for a while until eventually it appears as though Sebastian Aho is the one scoring the overtime goal. I'm not sure. They credited it to the Svechnikov on the broadcast, but it looks like they're giving it to Aho now. But they just kind of it's a blatant terrible turnover by Lane Hudson. He's got all the time in the world to make a nice pass, and this one just goes right onto the tape of a Carolina player, which they go right back into the zone with, work the puck around a little bit, get it up towards the top, and then Svechnikov takes a shot that seems to go off of Dobesh, might have gone off of Aho, I guess, because he's the one who gets the goal there. It goes into the top of the net there, and that gives them the overtime win in game 3. It's unfortunate. I mean, I would like to say that the Canadians deserved better, but at the same time, like, it just, like, for most of this game, like, outside of the highlights that I just kind of laid out here, like, the Canadians were just getting hemmed in. Like, there's so many opportunities that could have gotten scored on. We could have gotten scored on just based off the fact that we just cough up the puck in our own zone. We cannot find a way to get the puck out, especially early on in this game. It just felt like over and over again the Canadians were in our own zone. We're trying to make a play. We cough it up by either making a bad pass or just like being, pressured by the forecheck there. And it's just over and over again. We get forechecked, we make a bad pass, and we just get stuck in our zone. And there's just so many times where Jakub Dobic has to bail out the Canadians. Like the Canes take 38 shots on net in this game. game. 38 shots, which means that Jakub Dobeš had to make 35 saves in a game that we don't even win. And it's just like Jakub Dobeš cannot be the only guy on this team who is doing anything. And it seems like a lot of times when the Canadians are on the ice, it just feels like that's the case. It just feels like, to me, it just feels like the Canadians are really starting to show the fatigue right now. Dobeš looks great, but other than that, it just feels like everybody on the ice, like when we're trying to win a puck battle, it just seems like the Canes have a little bit of extra juice. And I mean, like, obviously it makes sense. They played like 6 less games than we have. They're definitely more well rested than the Canadians are, but at the same time, it just feels like it doesn't matter, right? Like, we're in the playoffs. We're in the Eastern Conference Final right now. Whether you like it or not, the Canadians are, only 3 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final, only 7 wins away from winning the Cup. We gotta, find a way to dig deep and get a little bit of extra energy going. I said in game 2, we got to get those smelling salts going or something like that. It's like, it just feels like, go back and watch some of those puck battles. It just feels like in our own zone, the Canadians are just a little bit slow on the puck. They don't seem to want to win these puck battles as badly as the Hurricanes do, and it's burning them over and over again in both the offensive and defensive zone. It just feels like the Canadians just don't want to win them as badly. They're not winning those puck battles as a result, and it ends up getting chances on net, and Jakub Dobeš is the only reason why both of those games have gone to overtime at all. And if the Canadians want to find a way to claw back in this series, tie this thing up, going back to Raleigh, we need to find a way to be better on those puck battles. I think back to game 1, obviously we benefited from a really, great first period, a really fast start where we scored 4 goals, but, at the same time, it's just like the Canadians, it felt like they had juice there. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know, if, we got bored or something like that, but it feels like we just haven't really had that jump in our game since period 1, game 1. We got to find a way to get back to that, because right now it just feels like the Canadians are just slow. They don't really look very inspired when they're in our own zone. We're not really, there's just kind of a lack of urgency going on is what I kind of feel like. It just feels like we don't want to win these battles as much, and it's those little things that are going to help you win a game. And right now it just feels like the Canes want those little wins a little bit more than we do, and it's working out for them. We need to find a way to turn things around here, because it's frustrating, especially at home too. We're 2-5 at home now, which sucks, because the Montreal Bell Center atmosphere has been great, and they deserve more than what they've gotten so far. And I think the Canadians, I think they know that. I think the guys in the room know that they're letting it down a little bit, and we'll have to see what happens, obviously, but game 4 is another opportunity. Hopefully, going down 2-1 in a series is a little bit of a wake-up call for the Canadians in this one, because they absolutely need one. It just feels like they're sleeping here. I would almost like to see, maybe a little bit of a lineup shake. Maybe get Brendan Gallagher back in the lineup. It worked out the last time we plugged him in. Obviously I understand that we're trying to match up with the Hurricanes or whatever, but at the same time, it's just anything to get these guys going a little bit, because it just feels like we get chances. Obviously we had more chances in this game, I would say, than we did in game 2, but you're not going to win off of just the random chance that you get every once in a while in a game. You have to win those puck battles. You have to play the game for a full 60 minutes, and it just didn't really feel like that was the case in this one. Just feels like they need something to perk them up a little bit, get them going. But right now I'm just disappointed. I don't love the game that we're playing right now. It just feels like we're trying desperately to kind of cling on to anything here to keep ourselves afloat. And I still think the Canadians are more than capable of winning this series. They just have to get back to their game. I don't really think we've seen that since period 1 of game 1. The Canadians have just not really been playing their game at all. We got to find a way to get back to that and play a little bit more consistently for a full 60 minutes, not asking for a four goal first period every time. I think the Canadians are comfortable playing a tight game. We played a good game down to the final minutes in this one. It just felt like the Canes were just a little bit more inevitable, just because of the way that they were winning battles, and the Canadians were just kind of clinging on and hoping that that something would work out their way. So we need to flip the scales a little bit, find a way to get the Canes, the team that's hoping for a break or whatever, and we need to be a little bit more down their throats a little bit. So it's frustrating. Not thrilled about this one, but we've got, you know, some more opportunities here. This series is obviously ongoing. We have a great opportunity in Game 4 at home again to turn things around and tie this series back up and send it back to Raleigh. You know, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be Wednesday night there, so that's pretty much all I have for this one. It's frustrating. This is probably one of the more frustrating games I've seen, even more frustrating than the 8-3 loss that we had in Game 6 against Buffalo. It just feels like, you know, we had that game. We could have won that game, but at the same time, you look back at it, and it's just like you know, if we had won this game, it would have been robbery, right? Like, we didn't really deserve to win. We're just not playing as good of a game through a full 60 minutes as the Carolina Hurricanes are, and if we want to win this series, we need to find a way to shake things up. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got to turn the tide here. Got to find a way to rally, get some energy. You know, the crowd is giving them energy enough, but they need to find it within themselves. Play a little bit more, you know, of a complete game, a game that they know how to play, and we'll win this series here. So, again, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I will see you after a big win in Game 4. We'll tie this series up 2-2.